What's up, guys? I just wanted to say, I wanted to make a point that these Satanists, the synagogue of Satan that we're dealing with every day, the bankers, the International Monetary Fund that print the money and give it to their buddies to torture us, to harm us, to hurt us, as they collapse the economy deliberately and intentionally, like we've been saying for years, it's a controlled demolition of the economy, just like 9/11, really, but of the economy. And you're going to learn really fast just the simple fact that these people mean business and they give their money to these, businesses. And as they collapse the economy, it's all about obedience to get that money. So just want to say, peace out.
As for anyone out there that, wonders, what we're talking about with the packaged, pre-planned society that we're all going to be forced to live in, like these people know in the collapsing control game that they're playing with all our resources and with family and lives and just it doesn't really matter to them. You're just a pawn on the chessboard and you are just a debt on the balance sheet. And of course, because they printed so much money and ruined the world, basically in a deliberate imploding fashion, because that's what a debt-based economy does. The fiat currency and the fractional reserve banking are criminal, but don't worry about it. But just they print money and devalue our currency, which was a choice. It's not an accident. It happened by a choice. They gave the money to their buddies, made us pay for it. And then they sell us austerity and tell us this great idea of a utopia where they get to be in total domination and control over us even more than they already are. So they're always going to keep grabbing more power and control, but they know what they're doing and they know that it's creating anger in the world. This is what I mean about the deliberate, intentional radicalizing and our own military and police being used in a more militant fashion against normal, lawful behavior just because it's profiled as something dangerous, right? So freedom of speech becomes dangerous. It becomes something that makes you an enemy of the state or an enemy combatant or someone that is a terrorist in the eyes of these people. Okay, I just want you to get the mentality of the training that the local sheriff's office has been getting for years just you know and of course we've talked about the different abuses with officer safety as they many officers use that as an excuse to violate rights and put their hands on you with no real due process or rules of engagement. And once those rules of engagement go out the door, you have a tyranny, you have a police state. And that is what we're seeing. And in the collapse, they know what they're doing and they know that it's going to make people angry, losing your pension, never getting a raise, and the hyperinflation that they created to put you in the squeeze. And it's all done deliberately. It's not an accident. It's not that these guys don't understand the way the economy works when they built the economy and created the economy and they print the money. Okay. And so, Klaus Schwab is really heading up the IMF and World Bank and, putting forth his edicts for all the nations to be subservient to. But here, Klaus Schwab is talking about a more angry world. Well, why is that? Could it be the deliberate implosion and Phoenix game that is being played as the Phoenix crashes and burns? All a controlled demolition of our lives, of society, of what systems have been in place to introduce even more control and more domination as they get ready to abuse us and pull the rug out from under our feet. They put a police state in just to make sure that there's that barrier and layer between the people and those that print the money. And here's Klaus Schwab. Let's hear what he has to say.
We have to prepare for a more angry world, the need for a great reset. In a spirit, which means to exercise here true global citizenship. We spend about 10 trillion worldwide to deal with the short-term negative effects of the pandemics.
All right, guys, let's go back again because it's right in the beginning here where he says this. I'm going to turn it off because I just want to play this again and again to let you guys know it's all premeditated and you just have to look in the right places. Psychopaths always brag and boast about what they're doing to you, and they can't contain themselves. And if you give the psychopath enough rope, that's why being silent in the presence of fools is really good because they will, end up revealing themselves because they can't contain it. They have to grandstand, they have to demonstrate superiority, and they do this even when people aren't in competition with them. They just think in terms of win and lose, like we saw in the last video. And then Klaus Schwab says, well, we know there's going to be a more angry world. Well, I wonder why. Is it the torture and the electromagnetic energy weapons in the police state worldwide, and the fact that you're under our skin reading body data and EEGs and heart beats and tracking people that way by their body data through electromagnetic lifetime surveillance? You know what I'm saying? And then leading people to believe that their anger is just because they're mentally ill and crazy. It couldn't be that, Americans are being tortured and that the government is hiding the abuse like they always do and getting third parties to carry out that abuse so they can deny their involvement, even though they're heavily involved in a lot of our targeting. So Klaus Schwab admits it's going to be a more angry world. So, as a smart person, you might want to just, whether you believe this guy or not, or, like this guy or not, it's not the focus here. The focus is the premeditation and realizing that before they hurt you, they're going to put in that barrier and layer to protect themselves so that there can be no redress of grievances. And of course, all the propaganda is to get everybody fighting amongst each other so we never look off to the true power structure. But let's hear Klaus Schwab again repeat that we're going to have a more angry world.
We have to prepare for a more angry world. The need for
Okay, so we have to prepare for a more angry world. Why would they need to do that?
We have to prepare for a more angry world.
Let's just keep listening to it.
We have to prepare for a more angry world.
We have to prepare for a more angry world. We have
to prepare for a more angry world.
We have to prepare for a more angry world. One more time for the people in the back.
We have to prepare for a more angry world.
And maybe just one more time.
We have to prepare for a more angry world.
Okay, so here Klaus Schwab from the IMF and World Bank is, deployed to the World Economic Forum, in which they decide how to collapse the United States into what they have pre-planned it to be. And you just got to recognize that. I love you guys. God bless. Messenger of the Cross Plus Point Media guys just coming to you today. I think it's really important to take a look at what the Hegelian dialectic really is, because it's used so much in society today, whether it's big corporations or the government. This is all they do before us. And until we wrap our minds around the fact that everything is theater, everything is a performance, everything is an act, and that it's all designed to get you to take sides, and it's all designed to lead you to believe that you're part of the power structure making a change as you fall into your camp. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's all talking points, it's all scripted, it's all theater, and nobody ever gets in trouble. Nobody ever goes to jail, and it's all designed to just break your will. That is what the Hegelian dialectic. So it's the dialectic as a performance and how both sides act out a script, okay? And the owners of both sides always win because they own both sides. So they always win in any given conflict that appears to be real and natural. This is what I mean by tying together the word crisis management with the Hegelian dialectic and how it's used in a tyranny. So the Hegelian dialectic isn't just a philosophy, it's theater. Okay, guys, and I just got this document in the background because I just made some short points that I wanted to bring up in my notes just to show a little bit more detail so that we can start recognizing this everywhere, okay? But the Hegelian dialectic is thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Okay, so it's thesis, antithesis. That's the conflict and the fake crises that keep happening. Thesis and then antithesis. So they, put something forward as the problem, even though they're the creators of the problem, they don't want to talk about that. They hide the abuse. They hide the fact that they're the ones creating the problem, posing as the savior. Okay, and that's the way everything is run. Thesis, antithesis. But both sides are controlled by the same person, playing one side off against each other in this scripted way, in this theater way, to really brainwash you and to really, wrap your energy up with things that are not real. And that's why nothing changes. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. And the crises that they create wrap us all up. And then you get all these people talking for weeks on radio programs and everything else about different topics that they want us to focus on, that they, in the media just, want us to focus on all the time. And like I said, the technologies are way more advanced than, AI flock cameras, but they would like people to just focus on that, even though it's a really bad thing and it's terrible. Okay. And another layer of surveillance in our society. And really, it's all merged together in one big network. But I'm just saying, many different various platforms of control and abuse in the name of keeping you safe. So we've given up our rights. Human rights is what I'm talking about, not obviously the Constitution, Bill of Rights, things of that nature, because it's all been suspended under the Baker Act. Under the Baker Act, we are in an emergency. And under the emergency, that shadow government asserts itself under that emergency, under crisis management. And so they suspend your rights and have for years and years and years. And people just aren't aware of that. But again, like I said, the local sheriff's office starts to become hardened against the people in terms of, not needing RAS, working around the legal framework and process of engagement, and just using technology and predictive models of policing where you don't even have to commit a crime and you're being engaged. Do you understand? So all the rules of engagement with citizens go out the window, and we're here to keep you safe and save lives. That's why we got to do this and violate all your rights. Okay, it's always been the same in world history, but it's because of this process that we have all been under and this type of brainwashing. Okay, and this I put, down, it was never meant to be a political weapon, but once Marx adapted it, Karl Marx, you can read his book, The Communist Manifesto, you know what I'm saying? Just to get an idea of what this guy was thinking. And you see a lot of his ideas in philosophy today. But once Marx adopted it into a dialectical materialism, it became a political engine, okay? And that's what happens in the United States. They create a conflict, amplify the conflict, and then resolve the conflict with new order. Remember, the new normal that they're saying? Okay, so this is just what it is. And we have to get our minds around the fact that, it's all just scripted in theater and a performance done in world history, especially in communist countries. And it's all about the scandal. And it's all about breaking your will because nobody gets in trouble, but yet all the truth comes out. So that's designed to pacify you and break your will eventually and feel oppressed to the point where, it's just like they can just rape our children and get away with doing all these things, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? And all the horrible things that these companies and corporations get away with doing to the civilians. You know what I mean? But I just wrote the structure is predictable, repeatable, and emotionally compelling. Owies. They attach so much emotion to the whatever, they're trying to push. It's like, don't you want to save the children? Are you a child abuser because you don't want us to surveil you and save the children? That's the logic here, but which is why political movements use it. And it's been used in many different political movements across history. It's not that individuals are quote unquote controlled, it's that the structure itself funnels them into roles. And so under total surveillance, people are actors, people are performers. Believe me, it's really hard to be genuine in a society, especially if you're insecure. You know what I mean? Because you know you're being surveilled, and everybody knows that. So people start to curtail their behavior and start to perform and act and pretend. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about the roles that are cast, and you have to obey. Okay, so but the two sides become actors, not thinkers. And this is some of the points that I wanted to make. But in every major ideological clash, whether it's capitalism versus communism, left versus right, state versus citizen, Coke versus Pepsi, you know what I mean? People believe they're fighting for truth, but psychologically they're performing. These people that are paraded in front of us. So the thesis actor believes they're defending justice, speaks in moral absolutes, frames themselves as the oppressed or liberator. I mean, how many times do these big companies come out and act, or the police departments that have all the money, the time, the energy, the funding, all the surveillance, lifetime surveillance, but they frame themselves as if they're victims? And how many have done that? But the antithesis actors, and this comes into play, believes they're defending order, speaks in warnings and consequences, and frames themselves as the protector or realist. But both sides think they're both sides think they're improvising, but the roles are pre-written, okay, by the ideology they adopt. They're not free agents, they're just characters they parade in front of you. And the conflict is the hook to get your attention. And it's not real. These hearings and all these things, it's just not real. The conflict is the hook. The dialectic needs conflict to function. So both sides exaggerate threats. And this is why they have the motive to create the crisis, because they can do things they otherwise couldn't do. Dramatize stakes, demonize the other, simplify reality, speak in slogans, and perform outrage. This is why political conflict feels theatrical, because it is. The conflict is the bait that pulls people in, okay, and gets you to give up all autonomy. So the outcome is predetermined. And here's the part most people never see. I just want to say the synthesis is always chosen by the system, not the participants. So whether it's a revolution, a reform, a crackdown, a police state, a new policy, a new elite, a new narrative, the solution is shaped by existing power structures, not by the people arguing. You understand that the president is just de facto, just a puppet. He's not the one making the decisions in the United States over anything. And the actors fight. The audience cheers. But the ending was written before the play began, is what I'm trying to tell you. And so communism's history shows the pattern clearly, is all I bring that up for. Communism historically used dialectical conflict as a mobilization tool, and they're using it here in the United States. Workers versus owners, oppressed versus oppressors, collective versus individual, state versus market. And each conflict was framed as inevitable, just like they did with the C-19. And moral and world changing, right? This is what they do to wrap everybody up in the dragnet. But the outcome is always centralized power, and it's always the same. So the actors believe they were shaping history, but the structure shaped them. And really, the psychological trap, people think they're choosing sides. And this is the important part. The dialectic creates the illusion of participation. As I've always said, if I choose a side, I matter. But you can see that criminals that have, we're all surveilled to death in live time, but yet they can't find the evidence. They can't find the proof. They can't, come to conclusions, about people that are in leadership that do horrible things. And it's all documented, it's all surveilled, but yet the CIA can't find different materials and different evidences. I mean, everything is in live time surveillance. You can't have one or the other. You either know everything or you don't. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't surveil in live time the whole world and then just turn around when, you know, you want to and do these things and contradict the reality so bad. But both sides feed the same machine, guys. That's all I'm trying to say. And it doesn't matter what it's over. It's conflict, emotional investment, consolidation of power. United States is in bankruptcy. The Federal Reserve was installed to consolidate the debt, to consolidate the power. And that is what we're seeing. You know, people feel empowered, but they're performing roles written by the ideology, not expressing independent agency whatsoever. That's why things never change. I'm just telling you, this is the bottom line. And why it feels scripted, because it is. Not by secret puppeteers, but by, and I just wrote that because it's not always that, but it is secret puppeteers and oligarchies that sit behind governments and print the money. Ideological narratives, historical momentum, psychological bias, media framing, group identity, social pressure, political incentives. These forces create predictable behaviors, outrage, loyalty, and tribalism, moral certainty, selective perception, enemy creation. It's not manipulation, it's human psychology inside a rigid ideological structure, okay? And a framework. And the dialectic works because people love stories. The dialectic is powerful because it mirrors myth. Hero versus villain, conflict versus resolution, chaos versus order, fall versus redemption. And people just participate in this and they perform. So they become characters in a story they didn't write. And this is the scripted fake reality that is presented to us as real every day. And the crisis is not real for the most part. And if it is real, and real crises are taking place, it was allowed and it happened by the very people that profit and benefit in this Hegelian dialectic process that is been imposed in world history. It is a form of brainwashing. Okay, so the dialectic creates the conflict, scripts the roles, funnels the emotions, delivers the predetermined outcome. People feel like they're part of the power structure, but they're part of the performance. And that's what I really wanted to say about the Hegelian dialectic. All right, guys, moving right along, we're just going to take a look at this video about the smart dust and invisible sensors everywhere. The nanoparticles in smart dust that the military and Ivy League schools, did a lot of the research on the graphene oxide because of its conductivity and how it is basically what they're spraying on all of us to create the network and the circuitry within our own bodies, because we inhale this, all this stuff, circulates in the blood, gets past the blood-brain barrier and hooks into the different organs. And it's literally like, having transistors and receivers and all these, computer terms, basically, because since the 80s or I think even before that, they announced that they hooked our bodies to the cloud in this really network-centric warfare, because now your body, your brain data, your brain waves, your heart, your nervous system, your temperature, your glucose, your cellular activity is all being mapped and read by the AI. You are hooked to a supercomputer through electromagnetic frequencies and waves. And this is what I mean about the prison camp that we're in. And it's not just the surveillance, believe me, I wish it was just the surveillance, but it is the torture that they can do to a person's brain and body and organs with these energy weapon systems, and just the pure radiation that comes to the brain of the individual who is under this kind of monitoring. But just so you know, we're all under it, just so you know. And if you're not a targeted individual, get ready, because I never thought, that I would deserve to be a targeted individual. I mean, it doesn't matter even if there are people out there that have committed crimes, let's say, you don't have no due process. You don't eliminate the rules of engagement and radicalize. You don't do those things, but you impose the laws that were in place. We don't need more surveillance to do that. But this is about human 2.0. Klaus Schwab knows that people are going to start waking up to what they've done to us, making this decision over humanity with the W-band or the wide body area network, in which they monitor our heart rate, our breathing, and everything else. And it's military grade platforms that are being used against civilians. So let's break this down. I just wanted to play this video just to get an idea and take a look at this smart dust that, of course, the geoengineering companies are to blame, and the government, for putting this in the atmosphere. And it's not just to black out the sun. It's not just to spray aluminum, barium, and strontium on us, which is evidenced by the soil quality and the plant life dying, okay? Because aluminum is toxic to human tissue, just so you know, and very cancer causing. And it stimulates, like the fires in the forest. If you just, realize that there's aluminum everywhere, aluminum burns and is way more flammable. So maybe that's why, these fires just in the perfect areas, in the perfect spots, the trees don't get burned, but the house that's wood gets burned, but everything else is left untouched. It's selective targeting based on the UN's forced relocation maps. Okay, and the maps match the forced relocation, like in California, that's going on in the United States, the asymmetrical war of attrition that's being deployed against all of us, whether it's ticks or bugs or genetic modification or deploying some sort of virus or disease. That's what these people are all about, whether real or fake. It's all about the crisis management to cause you to beg for their solution. And that is what all the crises are for. They don't love you. They're not here to keep you safe and save lives. They're actually here agitating. And of course, many of us know, like in these liberal states, when there's a protest, the police in black clothes and ski masks will get amongst the crowd, and paid provocateurs will end up tipping over garbage cans and throwing stuff at buildings and windows with bricks. And yet that is all done to have the excuse to engage in a more forceful way. Because of course, if you have all these toys, and you've dedicated your life to this, wouldn't you want to use those toys? And that's the mentality that these people have. But let's get into this. We're going to hit play right now.
Imagine a future where countless microscopic sensors, smaller than a grain of sand, silently monitor every facet of our environment. This isn't science fiction. It's the groundbreaking reality of smart dust, a technology poised to redefine how we interact with the physical world. Prepare to delve into the intricate mechanics and profound implications of this invisible revolution. Smart dust refers to a network of tiny, autonomous microelectromechanical systems, MEMS, often called motes. These motes are incredibly small, typically measuring 1 cubic millimeter or less, making them virtually imperceptible to the naked eye. Each mote is a sophisticated miniature computer designed to sense, process, and wirelessly transmit data about its surroundings in real time. The concept originated from visionary research at the University of California, Berkeley, particularly under the guidance of Professor Chris Pister in the late 1990s. Their goal was to create ubiquitous sensor networks that could operate unobtrusively in diverse environments.
Of course, a mobile network, meaning that you're moving about, unlike a still or stationary network.
These pioneering efforts laid the foundation for what promises to be one of the most transformative technologies of the 21st century.
Just so you know, guys, this is all related to the level of awareness that these people have in our daily lives. And it's much similar to the Internet of Things, but your body and brain and nervous system and all the body data is being decoded and read in live time.
At its core, a smart dust mote is a marvel of miniaturization and integrated engineering. Each tiny device encapsulates a suite of functionalities, enabling it to act as an independent data collection node. Understanding its architecture is key to appreciating its potential. Every smart dust mote integrates several critical components into an incredibly compact form factor. This sophisticated integration allows for autonomous operation and data acquisition. Sensors. These are the eyes and ears of the mote, designed to detect a wide array of physical stimuli. They can include thermistors for temperature, photodiodes for light intensity, MEMS accelerometers for movement and vibration, and specialized chemical sensors for gas or pollutant detection. Advanced motes might even incorporate acoustic sensors for sound analysis or magnetometers for magnetic field detection. Microprocessors.
Hey, maybe that's how they, send the gang stalkers and basically they repeat back to you everything you've said in private. Maybe it's just that they aren't conscious that they're even doing it. It's just they get hijacked and controlled, and then the forced speech, is done through the technology. But it's just incredible that, these are, so small that they can't even be seen by the human eye, and you're breathing it in every day. And this is why they were so, adamant about spraying our skies. You know what I mean? It serves more than just one purpose.
Processor, controller. This tiny brain processes the raw data collected by the sensors. It performs local computations, filters out noise, and can even execute simple algorithms for data compression or event detection.
Or changing the DNA, or augmenting the functionality of your cells, or interjecting, brain waves that aren't yours, but somebody else for behavior modification and experimentation,
Ultra-low power design is crucial for extended operational life. Communication module. Wireless communication is fundamental to smart dust, enabling motes to form networks and transmit data. While early concepts often envisioned radio frequency identification, RFID for short-range communication, modern implementations might leverage ultra-low power radio protocols like Bluetooth Low Energy, BLE, Zigbee, or custom-designed protocols optimized for energy efficiency and mesh networking. This allows data to hop from mote to mote until it reaches a gateway.
And it's just incredible, guys. So we're gonna just get through this quick commercial.
Power source. Energy is the lifeblood of these autonomous devices. Due to their minuscule size, traditional batteries are often impractical or have limited lifespans. Therefore, smart dust heavily relies on advanced energy harvesting techniques. This includes
Harvesting our energy, guys. This is why you feel tired and weak and, can't get up in the morning, and, you're not out there drinking, you're not out there partying, you live a clean life, you eat good, but yet you're still feeling sick and throw up every day and shake and are, having hives and burn marks all over your skin and your face, and unable to swallow from them hitting your throat so often to shut you up and silence you.
includes photovoltaic cells for converting ambient light, thermoelectric generators for temperature differentials, piezoelectric transducers for converting vibrations, and even RF energy harvesting from ambient radio waves. Protective casing. To withstand harsh environmental conditions, motes are often encased in durable protective materials. These can range from robust polymers to specialized biocompatible coatings for medical applications.
Oh, you mean like a lipid nanoparticle, and something that gets into the cell and can reprogram the cell and the function of the cell to do something it was never meant to do? You mean like that?
Casing protects the delicate internal circuitry from moisture, dust, chemicals, and physical impact, ensuring operational longevity. Smart dust motes typically operate within a distributed ad hoc network, often forming a mesh topology. In this setup, each mote can communicate directly with its neighbors, and data can relay across multiple motes to reach a central hub or gateway.
Again, what they're saying is that body data, if you're near like a neighbor, that body data can be exchanged on the network because you're both on the network, whether you know it or not, and they're under your skin. You know what I'm saying? It's not just under your skin. I'm saying that these people are under our skin, and monitoring our body data on every level. Okay. So just so you understand, it's way bigger than just putting cameras on the side of the street.
This decentralized approach enhances network resilience and coverage. Once data is collected and processed locally, it is wirelessly transmitted through the network. The gateway then aggregates this information and sends it to a central processing system, often cloud-based, for comprehensive analysis.
And guys, there's a lot of relays here, and of course, our smart appliances and all this is all networked in. So body data from the heart goes to a relay, and then that relay, or router brings it to, further along on the network to transmit that data to where it's going or where it's being directed to. And this is the problem with, the mimicking and the mirroring that we talk about a lot of the times, because body data and brainwave data is being exchanged when you are in the range of the people that are targeting you. And that's why I think a lot of the times they can repeat back to us what we say in private, because it's just the body data and brainwave data being exchanged. And they're just showing you the level of control and the power that they have over people. And people literally have become hijacked and are remote controlled.
This centralized system can then trigger automated responses, generate alerts, or provide insights for human decision-making, effectively closing the loop from sensing to action. The potential applications of smart dust are vast and transformative, spanning nearly every industry. Its ability to provide granular, real-time data from previously inaccessible or unmonitored environments opens up unprecedented.
Oh, you mean like my brain waves and my heart activity, the beating of my heart? How about my glucose levels and blood sugar? And again, guys, this is all going to be sold to us as something in the medical system that's going to help everybody. And, these gene therapies and augmentation, where they're reducing all medicine just to gene therapy. Okay. And that's what they're doing. And it's going to be telehealth, wireless healthcare that is done directly to the body and the brain without you having to see anybody and without you even having a surgery. The advancements with the electromagnetic waves and frequencies and how they use them, it could be used to, heal people, but they don't want to use it for that. They want to use it to damage and surveil and really turn you into a puppet. That's what they want, because that will bring world peace. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be done for the greater good. 2.0, human 2.0 has to be done for the greater good. And don't you want to sacrifice for the greater good? Give up your humanity. Give up what makes you human. And, that is what is going on in the people around us. And they're just not recognizing the impulse injections, the thoughts that aren't theirs, the synthetic nature of this warfare that is there to impersonate you, impersonate your own voice or the voice of others, and just badger you mentally and psychically, drive you into a breakdown, into a collapse. But this is how they do it. And this is how they, are able to, do such a, thorough job in coming and going with us at the same time, no matter what time of the day we come and go. They just haven't told the people that they decided to, reshape humanity. No big deal.
Possibilities for efficiency, safety, and understanding. In agriculture, smart dust can revolutionize crop management. Modes deployed across fields can...
Yeah, and so can, just allowing us to grow food without Monsanto's crops and without the genetically modified crop warfare that's going on, and without the government paying farms to shut down and not produce anything. Okay. And then if you get a seed that blows over and you're next door to a Monsanto farm, well, if they find the seeds in your farm, it will be considered illegal. And then they send the SWAT team to shut you down, especially when you're selling raw or just regular milk, unpasteurized. You know what I mean? Like, that is a crime in a lot of states in the United States, and so is feeding the homeless. And we really have to wake up to this. There is no empathy, no remorse, no sympathy, no love in a world filled with psychopathic, narcissist types that want to dominate all of us.
Can continuously monitor soil moisture levels, nutrient content, pH, and even detect early signs of plant disease or pest infestations. This hyper-localized data enables precision irrigation, targeted fertilization,
or to augment the physical world with electromagnetics.
and optimized pesticide application, leading to higher yields and reduced resource waste. Furthermore, it can track microclimates within fields, allowing farmers to make data-driven decisions for specific crop varieties.
It also can track microclimates in your body. Go figure.
For environmental monitoring, Smart Dust offers unparalleled capabilities. Networks of moats can track air and water quality in real time, identifying pollution hotspots and sources.
Yeah, but they don't know when the hurricane's coming right for your city. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the models that the mainstream news pushes, they're always, just saying two polar opposites and pretending it's the same thing so you can't make a decision. And it's all designed to get you to give up control of your own autonomy and thinking.
They can monitor seismic activity for earthquake prediction, detect forest fires at their nascent stages, and track the movement of pollutants in oceans or rivers.
They can also steer hurricanes and engineer hurricanes and storms and do many other such things, like use, well, we've heard about HARP before, where, they say they use it to look at the topography under the ground using, waves. But, we know that also, if you just do the research on electromagnetic waves and frequency, you can see that they can also stimulate earthquakes by hitting the fault lines, which, of course, what plausible deniability? He who controls the weather controls the world. Okay, what plausible deniability? And the people will never get their minds around it or believe the capabilities, even though they put it out in plain sight. But still, it's too hard to wrap the mind around because it's so sensational. But at the same time, that also allows them to get away with it because you'll never believe that they're doing this intentionally and deliberately and burning down cities and using directed energy weapons on all of us, whether to target us or to burn us out of our homes, okay?
This granular data is crucial for climate change research, ecological preservation, and rapid disaster response. The implications for
Oh, you mean like rapid response to the targeted individual?
healthcare are profound, moving towards truly personalized and proactive medicine. Ingestible or implantable smart dust motes could monitor vital signs, track medication adherence, or even detect pathogens and cancerous cells at their
Or create all that, by the way, because there is this distribution of data coming to the cells, coming to the nervous system, coming to the brain, and it's synthetic, it's not natural, and they can give you cancer.
earliest stages. They could assist in targeted drug delivery, releasing medication precisely where and when needed.
By the way, just really quick, I wanted to correct this lady: could, would, should, and the future. It's here now. It's been here for a long time.
Beyond internal monitoring, motes integrated into smart bandages could track wound healing, while those in hospital environments could monitor air quality and detect airborne pathogens.
Or also, separate molecules so that you can't breathe in oxygen anymore.
Enhancing infection control.
What if I told you that?
And by the way, guys, let's just get through this really quick. Just another commercial.
Might even see smart dust enabling sophisticated brain-machine interfaces or assisting in complex surgical procedures.
She says we might see smart dust interface with brains. Well, what about all the targeted individuals that are complaining about, mental attacks and injections and badgering and harassment and negative thinking that obviously doesn't come from the person until they became a targeted individual and were subjected to this illegal torture?
By providing real-time microscopic feedback. This level of unobtrusive, continuous monitoring promises to transform diagnostics, treatment, and preventative care.
It also promises to enslave you, but don't talk about that.
In military and defense applications, Smart Dust offers significant tactical advantages. Networks of moats can be deployed for pervasive surveillance and reconnaissance, providing real-time battlefield awareness without risking human lives.
I mean, guys, this is exactly what the JIFCO says, Colonel Wendell Limbach at the JIFCO. And these are less than lethal, but still can be lethal, weapon systems, intermediate force capabilities that are deployed domestically on the United States because they have, used this Hegelian dialectic, and the people have bought into left and right in the clash of civilizations. And it's all big business paying for all of it and, performing this script before all of us in order to get us into their solution and to accept it. The 15-minute cities and, this telehealth, wireless remote EMF healthcare.
They can detect troop movements, identify chemical or biological threats, and monitor critical infrastructure. For border security, Smart Dust can create invisible perimeters, alerting authorities to unauthorized crossings. Its small size makes it ideal for covert operations, and its ability to operate autonomously in harsh environments makes it invaluable for intelligence gathering and threat assessment.
And like I said, these things, the Smart Dust, is how they run the threat assessment. It's automated, and you are just constantly, having these people show up around you, seeking to justify their investigation of you and their involvement in your life by getting a bad reaction to justify it. And they use abuse and pressure and hostility to get the reactions that they want so that they can say, we're here to keep you safe and save lives. We're the heroes, we're the saviors. It's really simple.
From smart munitions to advanced perimeter defense, Smart Dust is poised to redefine modern warfare and security protocols. Smart Dust can bring unprecedented visibility and efficiency to logistics and manufacturing. Moats attached to goods in transit can monitor temperature, humidity, and shock.
I mean, guys, I've shown over the years, it's on our clothes, it's in our food, they're spraying us with it. I mean, they're not allowing for anyone to escape. And, that's why, there's been such a problem in the US with even organic food, which we found has been really just a play on words is the whole game they play. I mean, that's all they do is redefine terms and words and play this game, because they want to control the information and control you.
Ensuring product integrity throughout the supply chain. In factories, they can be embedded in machinery to monitor performance, detect anomalies, and predict equipment failures, enabling proactive maintenance and minimizing downtime. This technology facilitates the creation of smart factories, where every component and process is continuously monitored. It can optimize inventory management, track product quality at every stage of production, and enhance overall operational efficiency, leading to significant cost savings and improved output.
Of course, at your expense, guys, as a human being. But don't worry about that, because we're moving into an age that's anti-human.
The structural integrity of our infrastructure is paramount, and Smart Dust offers a revolutionary approach to monitoring it. Moats embedded within pavements, bridges, buildings, and pipelines can continuously assess their condition, detecting microfractures, corrosion, or stress points long before they become critical.
And they're using this in every industry, and they're using it on us. And that is the bottom line. So when you go into the woods and you get away and some dude pops out behind a tree with a red shirt on, starts holding up his camera and giving you that duper's delight smirk because you thought you outwitted him, you didn't tell anybody you were going to the park. You didn't even text it. You left your phone at home and you went to the park, and the crossing of your path and the intercepts are done to torture you, to get a bad reaction, to torture you and create the hostility needed to have this war against us, as they hide the abuse, do all this abuse to all of us citizens, and hide the abuse again and again and again, repeat, to get that breakdown, to get that reaction, to justify the abuse being done. And it is disgusting what they've done to humanity.
This allows for timely repairs, preventing catastrophic failures and extending the lifespan of vital assets. In the context of smart cities, smart dust can contribute to intelligent traffic management by monitoring vehicle flow and road conditions. It can also enhance public safety by detecting environmental hazards.
Could, would, should, and it's never used for that, guys. When have you ever seen cameras being put up that makes traffic better? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Or monitoring crowd density. Its pervasive sensing capabilities are fundamental to building truly responsive and resilient urban environments. For disaster management, smart dust can provide critical real-time data during emergencies. Networks can sense potential calamities like hurricanes, tornadoes, or tsunamis, providing early warnings.
I have been buying.
All right, guys, we're just getting through this commercial. And I'm going to edit this out when I get to it, but let's just keep going.
Strawberry.
Let's keep going, guys.
When you drop this device in the water.
Post-disaster, they can assist in search and rescue operations by detecting signs of life in collapsed structures or mapping hazardous areas. Their ability to operate in chaotic environments makes them invaluable for rapid assessment and response.
Or warfare.
Beyond Earth, smart dust holds immense promise for space research and meteorology. Tiny, autonomous motes could be deployed on other planets or celestial bodies during unmanned expeditions, gathering unprecedented data on atmospheric conditions, geological formations, and potential signs of life. For Earth's meteorology, they could provide hyperlocal weather data, improving forecasting models and our understanding of climate change.
So after all this time, guys, all these many years that they've deployed this without telling us, and yet they still haven't done any of these things that they've said they're going to do. And that's what I keep trying to point out, that the local sheriff's office wants to keep you safe and save lives, and they've been given all these tools that are high-tech, military-grade weapon systems and monitoring systems, just like the military uses, because there's been this merger and radicalization. And so, you know, they want to use those toys, of course. And it's always done with the moral high ground. And I just am pointing out in history how abusers always take the moral high ground before they do the abuse to you. So when you complain, they don't get caught and can keep abusing you with that plausible deniability that this and other such tactics of abuse and control really, cause. So let's keep going.
While the potential of smart dust is immense, like any powerful technology, it comes with a set of significant advantages and inherent challenges that must be carefully navigated. The benefits of smart dust stem directly from its core design principles: miniaturization, autonomy, and pervasive sensing. Unprecedented access. Their minuscule size allows for deployment in previously inaccessible or hazardous areas.
Like your brain.
From inside the human body to the depths of a crumbling bridge. This opens up entirely new frontiers for data collection. Real-time, ubiquitous data. Smart dust provides continuous monitoring, offering real-time insights into dynamic environments. This constant stream of data enables immediate responses and proactive decision-making, far beyond what periodic human inspection can achieve.
Oh, you mean like putting your neighbors on you when you come and leave and you're leaving your house and you change up the times no matter what time in the day you come and go, and your neighbors just step out with a red shirt on and just go to the car at the same time as you, close the door at the same time as you, start their cars at the same time as you, and then drive away at the same time as you. And it doesn't matter what time of the day you come and go, when you come back, they're coming back at the same time as you. You didn't plan that. You didn't think about it, but there they are again, crossing your path, just timing the contact. Timing that contact is to intimidate and is a form of psychological warfare that is being committed against you, a war crime. And we just have to raise the bar and not accept these abuses. And we have a zero tolerance for it. We don't care what the reason is, because that just is the excuse that they make to target all of us. And they make it up. They lie. They invent things. And then they do crimes in your name and pretend that you've done them. And it's been our whole lives, guys, our whole entire lives.
Scalability and coverage. Smart dust networks can be deployed in vast quantities, covering expansive areas with high sensor density. This scalability ensures comprehensive data collection across large geographical regions or complex structures. Versatility. The modular nature of motes allows them to be equipped with various sensors, making them adaptable to a wide range of sensing applications across diverse industries. A single platform can serve multiple purposes. Unobtrusive monitoring. Due to their small size, smart dust motes can monitor environments without disturbing the natural flow or drawing attention. This is crucial for sensitive applications like wildlife monitoring or covert surveillance.
And we just happen to be the wildlife, and funny how she mixed covert surveillance, because that is what they use it for, and we're all experiencing it.
Despite its promise, smart dust faces formidable technical, ethical, and practical hurdles that require careful consideration and innovative solutions. Profound privacy. Concerns. The ability to collect vast amounts of data, often without explicit consent or even awareness,
Hey, look, guys, it's the perps. Look at them.
raises significant ethical and privacy issues. The potential for pervasive surveillance by governments or corporations is a major societal concern, demanding robust regulatory frameworks and transparent data handling policies.
Yeah, okay.
Data security vulnerabilities. Smart dust networks, like any IoT system, are susceptible to cyber attacks. The sheer number of nodes creates a massive attack surface.
Oh, you mean like, frying your organs and burning you and destroying you, shutting your heart off? How about collapsing your nervous system? How about programming your brain to short circuit again and again and again?
Making them vulnerable to data interception, manipulation, or denial of service attacks, ensuring the integrity and confidentiality of collected data.
And by the way, just to break this down, our body data from everything from head to toe is monitored on a network through electromagnetic waves in a broadcast system, and it can be hacked. So isn't that good? And also, it can be used to kill you. And that is what they're doing to many targeted individuals, making it look like an accident, making it look like they suddenly got ill, suddenly got sick. And we know how, this plausible deniability works. You know what I'm saying? Many of us understand that the abuse being done is crafted only to be denied on something else. That is expert level, like a psychologist got on your case and started, understanding your psychology and customizing the abuse to you.
Data is a monumental task, limited energy supply and longevity. While energy harvesting offers solutions, the power budget for such tiny devices remains extremely constrained.
I mean, they turned us into a unit of energy, right? So think about, just like movies like The Matrix. I mean, it's not far from the truth in terms of this synthetic overlay that is over all of us and this hijacking of what it means to be human. And I don't think they want us understanding or figuring out just how bad it really is, how arrogant and self-righteous these people are to take God's creation and decide to make it after their own image.
Achieving long-term, maintenance-free operation without frequent recharging or replacement.
All right, you want to.
All right, guys, we're just going to get through these commercials and I'm going to break it up and edit these out.
Technical challenge, especially in environments with limited ambient energy. Environmental impact of disposal. The eventual disposal of billions, if not trillions, of these tiny electronic devices poses a substantial environmental challenge. The accumulation of inorganic particles and electronic waste could have unforeseen ecological consequences, necessitating biodegradable materials or efficient recycling mechanisms. Cost and control complexity. The manufacturing of these highly miniaturized, sophisticated devices is currently expensive. Deploying, managing, and maintaining vast networks of smart dust motes also presents significant logistical and computational challenges.
Lies, 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 and a side order of lies.
Requiring advanced AI and network management systems. Regulatory and ethical frameworks. The rapid advancement of smart dust technology outpaces the development of appropriate legal and ethical guidelines. Establishing clear regulations regarding data ownership, usage, consent, and accountability is crucial to prevent misuse and foster public trust.
I mean, they talk a big talk, but none of that is followed, and it never has been in world history. We'd be really naive to think that that is what's going to take place with such a powerful, powerful force as this technology is, and its various different platforms and uses.
Miniaturization and manufacturing hurdles. Producing components at the nanoscale with high precision and reliability is incredibly complex. Advanced manufacturing techniques like nanotechnology, microfabrication, and additive manufacturing are essential, but still face scalability and cost challenges. To harness the immense potential of smart dust.
Well, I mean, that's why they did the research on the graphene oxide, because of what a great conductor it is. And of course, it's all about the electricity, mapping your body, understanding the electrical impulses and signals of the body, and interfering with them until you collapse.
While mitigating its inherent risks, a multifaceted approach is essential. Responsible deployment strategies must be at the forefront of development. This includes conducting rigorous environmental impact assessments before widespread adoption, ensuring that the benefits outweigh potential ecological harm.
All right, guys, that's enough out of that video. I just wanted to share it with you guys, let you know that, we're just hitting this from every angle. We're talking about the smart dust. They don't need cameras. They don't need anything else. They are spraying us 24/7. Just look up in the sky, realize that these people have decided to hijack humanity and turn you into something other than fully human. And that is what we are battling every day, is this human augmentation, watching family and friends become hijacked on this network, and literally managed and controlled by AI to the level that their body functions are functioning related to the algorithms, related to this falsified stream of energy that's coming to the body and the brain. And it's just the bottom line. I love you guys. God bless.